Welcome to Tube Talk, where I'll be interviewing either virtually or in person content creators in the hope to learn more about the people that we subscribe to and we follow on YouTube. So my next guests are a young couple from the mid-north coast of New South Wales who are travelling with an 18-month-old. He's a laconic plumber and a surfer. She is a teacher and a blog writer. Meet Rhys, Sarah and Lila from While We're Young. Rhys, Sarah, welcome to Tube Talk. So nice to meet you guys.
You too.
Thank you, mate. It's a pleasure to be here.
So right off the bat, question for you guys without notice is that a background screen or are you guys actually fair dinkum in a house?
No, we're actually fair dinkum in a villa.
A villa?
First time.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a long time. Over a year.
So you guys wouldn't know yourself?
No. We actually have a ridiculous amount of room at the moment.
It's been strange because it's actually also been an adjustment. Like coming from a tiny space to a bigger space now. It's been interesting. It's good. We have house sat before, but rent for a little while. So
Right. So
good.
where are you? So actually, where are you guys? So you're looking after a house, but where is this house?
Yeah, no. So we're actually in Exmouth at the moment. We're up here doing a bit of work. So the old the travel funds we get. It's time to pull up for a little bit and do a bit of work. So
right.
Yeah, thought I don't know if you've ever tried camping at Exmouth, but it's very hard to get long-term bookings anywhere. So we decided it'd probably be easier to just be in a house, in a little villa.
We do also have an ulterior motive. The ulterior motive is we really wanted to be here for the solar eclipse happening in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting. So I got offered some work when I was here last time.
Time out. You just need to time out for a sec. Rhys, I just saw you grabbed a beer. So this is the new Friday, right? It's Thursday. It's a new Friday. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, beauty. I wasn't sure. I tried to drink it off screen, but I don't even know if I went off the screen, mate.
Great work. So how long have you been in Exmouth and how long do you intend to stay there?
Second week of school, so it'll be almost 2 weeks, I think.
So you've been in Exmouth for 2 weeks. And how long do you guys intend to stay in Exmouth?
We've got a few months actually, a couple of months. So we'll be here till sort of mid-year-ish.
Mid-year-ish? That's June, July?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Okay, cool. So in no order, so what drew you to Exmouth?
Oh, so many things.
Yeah,
okay.
So many things.
And what drew you to Western Australia so quick?
Oh, we've sort of always, I guess, like when we planned this trip, we sort of, the main focus of the trip was basically just coming to WA.
Oh.
Well, we obviously want to see,
wouldn't you?
Do the whole of Australia.
Yeah.
But because we've worked, we sort of just worked, like whenever we had a break, we'd fly overseas or whatever. You need a lot of time to come over to WA. There's a lot of stuff to see. So
there's a reason why it's called WA. It's a long way away, right?
It is. It absolutely is, yeah. So we sort of, I guess we never really had time to properly
do it justice.
Yeah, properly do it. So we figured.
So our lap was we had intended on doing like a lap, like the standard lap, and we've got to WA, and now we're looping. We're just like lapping around WA at the moment, which has been awesome.
It has, yeah.
All right, so go back to the question. So why did you guys gravitate to? Because Rhys, it might have been something you put up recently. I'm not 100% sure, but I saw something where you guys put up a map of Australia, and you pretty much come from New South Wales, cross the Nullarbor really quickly, and it's pretty much So why So what was the hurry for WA?
Yeah, look,
it wasn't that quick.
Yeah,
I mean, we did the South Coast, and then we went back to home for Christmas for a few months. Then we went down. We did a bit of like Victoria, and we did
Yeah.
do a little bit of other stuff, but
Yeah,
we've
but
definitely focused on WA.
yeah. I think there's so much over here we wanted to see: the fishing,
Right.
the surfing, the coastlines. Like,
You're a surfer, Rhys.
I am.
You are a surfer. Okay, we'll come back to that. Back in the day, I used to surf a bit, but anyway. So
Yeah.
so we've gravitated to you guys, and I don't know whether you're actually watching other Tube Talk interviews, but we gravitate to people that we find really authentic, and you guys are real soul of the earth, and we act, as bizarre as this may seem, we feel like we've actually seen Lila grow up, right? So so please understand that we feel part of your journey, right? So going back in time, can you please share with me / us the moment when you guys woke up one morning and went, you know what, we're out of here. We're gonna buy that second-hand van, because I read your blogs. Sarah,
Oh,
Yeah.
which are excellent, by the way. You're gonna buy that second-hand van.
thank you.
Yeah.
A+.
We'll get to the school teacher marks in a minute. So can you guys can you recall the moment when you actually woke up one morning, or you had a few beers one afternoon and said, you know what, let's go and do this? Share the moment, if you can remember it.
I don't think
I
it was a
feel
single.
like-
I don't know if it was a single moment.
I feel like potentially it was after that auction where we just
Auction.
got smoked.
Oh, yeah, we
Okay.
we actually had
Describe your-
started to save up by an investment property.
So tell us about
And
the
here's
auction.
little old me, here's little old me trying to purchase
Yeah.
this grand house overlooking Warners Bay in Newcastle on the coast, which is, it was beautiful.
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't grand. Scale
I
back a
thought it
little
was
bit.
grand.
It was
For me,
grand
it was
for
grand.
us.
Me and this other guy, it was me and this other guy bidding on it, and the reserve was like, I don't know,
A lot.
50 grand less than,
How
50
long-
grand more than what we bid.
Okay, so I've been told to put my hand up instead of talking over people. So how long ago was that,
That would have been
the auction?
probably midway through COVID, maybe the start of COVID.
The epiphany.
I don't remember wearing a mask, so it must have been before.
Yeah, it might have been just before COVID. So like
Right.
maybe 3 years ago now. But yeah, basically we're living in Nui and just working our butts off. You know, doing the, I guess what everyone's doing. And we saved up. So we've got a little rental in Nui that we're living in. And we saved up and we thought we'd buy a little investment property. And basically we were looking around, and it was a time where the market was just starting to go mental over
More-
east, basically.
More mental. It's already crazy mental.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think it was before the last crazy spike. Like it was because we got quite lucky and bought before things went too
Right,
crazy,
okay.
which is sort of what has helped us get into the position that we're in now, where we can do what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's go back. You're at this auction. And you have this light bulb moment. Is that right? Is that what happened?
No, we
lost.
lost we lost the auction.
We lost the auction. We basically we weren't even a foot in at the auction.
Right.
It went way beyond what we
The
were.
price didn't even encompass the reserve price. The
Yeah.
reserve price was well
Wow.
past the price guide, which I thought was a little bit misleading. But
Yeah.
anyway, so we didn't have a foot in the door at all in
Yeah.
that auction.
And I was actually at a Bucks party at this point. So Sarah I was on video. Anyway,
In a state, as you can
yeah, I was in
imagine.
a bit of a state, but long story short, we basically after that
Thursday
I got
night,
home.
right? It was a Thursday night.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. High chance. But yeah, we got
Funny.
home and we just we thought, you know, screw this. What are we doing? Like we had a bit of money there that we saved up, and we sort of thought, yeah, you know, we started looking at basically how much work we'd have to keep doing in order to pay for 2 properties. And we sort of just thought, stop this. Let's originally we just thought we'll take a year off. We'll take a year off and sort of, I don't know, take a break, try and sort of figure out what we actually want to do. or whether, you know,
Mm.
yeah, because I guess we've been having feelings for a while. It's sort of been like, I don't know, just grind and work was
Mm.
what
And
we
I
wanted to
guess
do.
the reminders, you know, certain chains of events happen in your life and you realize life's short.
Mm.
And so that was very,
Yeah.
Never a true
very, that
word.
was integral in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
at the time, we had a few things happen in the family that in both of our families that
Mm.
were bit of a kick in the ass for us to sort of, you know, you're growing up and you think you're invincible. You start getting sort of closer to 30 and all of a sudden you're not that invincible and, you know,
Try
things
being,
start happening.
try being 58,
Yeah.
brother. You
Yeah,
try being 58.
mate.
Anyway, we'll come back to that. All right, so interesting. Okay, so the pivotal moment was you guys are at an auction, you go home, you're three ways, you've been at a Bucks night, you went, you know what, there's more to life than, you know, flogging ourselves to death and having two mortgages, right? So was that
Yeah,
about
pretty
was,
much.
was that about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago?
I mean, it was,
I mean, like before that, we'd always talked about traveling around Australia. We'd always wanted to do it, but we had always,
When we
I
retired.
guess we were in the rat
Basically.
race.
When you
sort of like,
retire. Yeah, right.
that was the
Yeah,
plan. We were
for
like,
sure.
when we retire,
When you
we're
retire.
going to travel.
When you retire.
And,
Hey, guy.
in
Go on.
all honesty, Paul, that's where our name came from. We'd always said we're going to do it when we retire, and then we were like, nah, screw it, let's do it while we're young. And
Yeah,
here we
love
are.
Love it, love it. Guys,
Yeah.
so my personality is a little bit erratic. So please excuse me, but you know, I'm going to jump all over the place. And it's just like,
Not at all, man. I'm just saying.
I think when I sent you guys a message, I sort of sent you a message going, you know what, if you're standing at a barbecue, there is no script to follow, right? So it's just as things pop in your mind, you go, I want to ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
So I hope you don't mind me asking you these random questions. So,
Not at all.
so on your journey from the East Coast to the West Coast,
Yeah.
can you describe your most favourite place you've actually been to since you've been on the road?
Including WA or on our
100%. No, 100%. So that can include even like you can include Exmouth, and I love Exmouth, right? So
I think it's Exmouth.
oh
me.
wow, Tick,
I love
you've
Exmouth.
clearly caught some fish, mate.
Yeah. I've been fishing all day actually.
All day today.
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah,
working.
I'm a bit, that's why I'm looking like a tomato at the moment.
So well, okay, I'm going to blame that to me, but I think it's a glass of red wine. So you were fishing. I thought you were working up there.
No, it's,
I had today off.
Oh, you had
Yeah.
today off, so you haven't started work
Yeah.
yet, Rhys.
yeah, no, I'm actually full-time daddy daycare up here at the moment. So
Right.
Sarah's
Okay.
working at the high school.
Okay. So see, I'm going to get back to your teaching skill set.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about that. That's a hard question. It's a big country.
So why have you been on the road for? So how long? So let me go back a few steps. As I just said, I'm a bit all over the place. That's how I roll.
Yeah.
So you guys are from Newcastle. Is that what I picked up on? You're from the East Coast.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
where we were living. So originally, we're actually from the mid north coast, just south of Coffs Harbour.
Okay, right. I'm not
Which
that
is
I
about,
favour.
it's pretty much halfway between Sydney and Brisbane.
Okay. So that's
Yeah.
okay. So I can visualize that. Okay. So
Yeah.
We moved to Newcastle when I started uni, like, I don't know.
So you guys
10+
been together
years
for a long time.
Really long.
Yeah.
Really long.
You know what? You're the third or fourth couple I've actually done this tube talk with, and the majority of people have been high school sweethearts. Go on, tell me off right off the bat. You guys high school sweethearts?
We are.
Ah,
We
I've
are.
got the trifecta. What's the fourth one? The Quinella. I reckon I've got the Quinella so far. The 4 people that I've interviewed, they've all been high school sweethearts. So that's really, really
Yeah.
good. All right. So you're on the road, you're leaving New South Wales, you come across the Nullarbor, you do a bit down the South Coast. Is there one memorable moment that really resonates or sticks in your head since you've been on the road? One memorable, good, bad, or indifferent?
We were thinking about that earlier.
Give me a good one.
Yeah, well, this one is not memorable in terms of the location. The location was also memorable. It was more memorable in that it's something we'll never forget. It was an intense and incredible, crazy experience. Yes, yes. So we're in the Karijini National Park. We're at Knox Gorge, which is incredible. And there was a group of people near a tour bus looking very frenzied, and we went over and asked them what was happening. You might have watched this episode.
We watched this. Yes.
It was insane.
Yeah, we didn't film a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty.
It wasn't.
Full on.
Yeah, it didn't feel very appropriate to film too much. But anyway, we asked them what was going on, and one of the people in the tour had fallen down in the gorge, and they had said, "Oh, we think she's broken her leg." And we had a sat phone, and for some reason the tour guide's sat phone wasn't working. So they used our sat phone. So we stayed with them for a while they did that. The ambulance and stuff was on their way. It was, ages away. Yeah.
I will go as far as to say, I know. So in the business I work in, we have Teams meetings, and you got this little hand you got to press up when you want to say something. Guys, I will go as far as to say, I reckon that was the first clip we watched. And we stumbled upon your channel.
Right.
Yeah, I reckon. So how long ago was that, you reckon, Sarah? I remember that vividly.
July last year, I think it was.
Okay. That's less than a year. I remember that show. I remember that episode vividly.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. And I don't know whether it came across in the episode, but it was...
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was really eye-opening for us.
Yeah. So we ended up carrying that. We ended up being out there for like 6 hours or something.
Yeah, so we hiked in. A lot of them were sort of looking at us with Lila, like Rhys had Lila in the backpack carrier, thinking they were looking at us like, oh my gosh, are you guys sure you can do it? And we always go and assess the risks for ourselves, because everyone's different in terms of what they feel comfortable doing. So we like to assess the risk ourselves and not just go off what other people say. So we went and had a look, and we thought it looks like it looks like we could do it. We'll just like go slowly, and if it becomes too difficult, we'll turn around. And we got down there, and on our way down, a first responder rocked up with this huge big backpack with like a full first aid, like ambulance kit on his back.
Yeah.
So he passed us and went down. And then the lady where she'd fallen was sort of on the route. You had to pass her like she was on the main route sort of thing. There's not really any other way you can go.
Wow.
So we saw her. She wasn't in a really good way. But the first responder was there, and one of the other tour group members was a doctor, and he stayed with her too. So she was okay, but she wasn't in a great way. And we did the whole hike. We passed them and went in, and it was amazing. And on the way out, she was still there, and the SES had just arrived. And it was a team of maybe 7 or 8 SES, which we later found out are all volunteers. The only person who was paid, I think one of the whole crew was paid. Everyone else was volunteers from Tom Price and around the area. And they sort of said, yep.
So, that group of people that look after Karijini at the Tom Price pub, when I bumped into my niece and her now husband, we were fortunate enough. We were fortunate enough to actually, I'm going to say bump into, call it whatever you like. We spent the night with the people that look after the whole Karijini site, a group of Indigenous people. Yeah, 100%. And the restaurant and the so-called eco village. What an amazing, and someone's going to throw stones at me, I'm sure, but what an amazing, authentic, real group of people they are that look after that place. So if you were, involved with the responders, I can actually feel what we felt. They're just the real people. I mean, yes, it's a tourist place, but it's real, right? The people are real.
Absolutely. 100%. They were pretty much just like, we sort of walked up expecting them to be like, oh, just, go around and sort of keep going. But they were like, mate, if you guys are able, can you just help us?
Yeah.
Long story short, we basically, they said, look, if you can help us, like we'd really appreciate some help. And we did like, so there was a guy there, like the team leader sort of briefed us all on, basic
protocol.
Basic like what to do, which there's a lot in it. Like you don't realize how much is involved in like carrying an injured person. It's not like you just grab them and off you go. Like there's a lot involved.
They have like a raft everything to get them across the water. And
I remember
so there
seeing
was,
the
like,
video.
water
Yeah.
sections and- yeah, it's
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
anyway.
We didn't see the video of going across the water, but we definitely, your footage was amazing. Whoever took the footage was amazing. And I think if I go back to, I reckon that's probably when we stumbled across you guys. So is that your profound good experience or your profound bad experience or just a profound experience?
I think a bit of both.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a bad experience. It was an eye-opening experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it highlighted for us East Coasties what it's really
Once you
like
get
over
remote,
here.
yeah.
It's like, it's all about, like we love in WA, it's all about community. Like if you don't have tight-knit
Tom
community,
Price.
no one's volunteering to
Yeah.
help with these rescues. Like you're on your own. So that was
And-
really eye-opening to experience that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
cool. Like, it was obviously unfortunate.
Mm.
You know, for the lady, it was probably a quite a bad experience, but
Mm.
but yeah, I think like it's definitely something we won't forget. I don't think I'll forget it. It's pretty full on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was an important reminder, I think, for us. And we hope that we shared that message to other
You got
people
to be bloody
to
careful.
just be careful. Like, you know, accidents can happen really quickly. And when you're remote, they can go bad really quickly.
Mm.
So, yeah, it was
Yeah, it was good.
a lesson.
So let me go off on a tangent. I'll come back quickly because this is about you guys, not me. But I don't know whether you've actually had a look at my YouTube channel, but myself and Belinda, we fished off the back of Macquarie. We fished off the back of Thevenard Island last year, and we were sort of
Yep.
15 k's off the back. And you're exactly right. How quick can it happen? And I'm a bit reckless, as I'm getting older. I've got to sort of rein it in a bit. But we're 15 k's off the back. There's a breeze blowing. And I'm trying to untangle a fishing line off a ladder, and I'm halfway down a 45. It's just crazy. You cannot throw caution to the wind, really.
Yeah.
You've really got to be cautious, especially when you're either in Karijini National Park, walking a gorge, or you're 15 k's off the back of Thevenard Island. Anyway, so
Absolutely.
yeah, no, I totally agree. So okay, so what we've learned is that you guys are from New South Wales, you're from Newcastle, or from the Northern Beaches. How did you two? So okay, so your high school sweethearts, and that's awesome. I said the Quinella.
Yeah.
That's the Quinella. Righto, Rhys. So Rhys, Sarah walks in at first year high school or second year high school. How did you guys actually meet?
Well, I think I guess what kicked it off, like we sort of hung out in a bit of a different group at the start of high school. Like Sarah's quite smart, quite good. I was a bit of a rat in high school.
Surfer.
I guess you would. Yeah, it's just a bit of a rat bag. And mine, I left high school in year 10 to go plumbing.
Same.
Oh, did you? Yeah,
100%.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and I actually knew that was going to be the case from year 7 because my old man's a plumber, and he basically had said, "Look, if you're interested in plumbing, you can leave in year 10 when you can, and you can plumb." So knowing that in year 7 probably wasn't the best. At the start of high school, probably wasn't the best thing that could have happened for my schooling career.
So the old man had his own plumbing business?
He did, yeah.
Right. Mate, we'll come back to that because I've actually got I've got a really close connection to the plumbing industry. And if we touch on that down the track, that's awesome. But if we don't, that's okay too. Okay, so you guys met at high school. What you're sharing with me is that Sarah was the academic and you're the plumber. And mate, just for what it's worth, I don't know any poor plumbers. I don't know one.
Yeah.
And I know lots of plumbers.
Yeah.
So okay, so Sarah may be academic, but you're really good with your hands, right? So you guys met at high school? Yep.
Pretty much. Yeah.
We if you want to be specific, we actually met in primary school.
Primary school?
We did. We legitimately did. We dated for a week.
Yeah,
but we never saw each other, and I was scared shitless of seeing him because I don't know.
Yeah, we
actually afraid of boys or something.
We went to different schools. We went to different schools.
Anyway, so we had met each other.
Okay, cool.
And that was and we re-met again.
Yeah. So you're junior sweethearts. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Basically, we grew up in a town about the size of Exmouth. So
it's, cool.
On the coast.
Yeah.
On the coast, yeah. It's called Valor Beach. So it's it's just a pub and a bakery and That was about it. No shopping centre, no anything. So it was, yeah, pretty much everyone knew everyone there.
Okay,
basically.
cool.
Yeah.
So how do you describe you two guys as a couple? So what I've picked up so far is that, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but Sarah, you're the academic, and Rhys is the plumber, which really good with his hands. But how do you describe you guys as a couple?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
We're pretty close. Well, we're very close.
Yeah.
We've been,
We've been mates for a long
yeah,
time,
we've been best friends since we were really young.
Yeah.
And I guess because we sort of grew up together, and we just got lucky and we didn't grow apart. We sort of grew closer together, which, you know, a lot of people who date in high school sort of grow apart as they get older.
Make sure I remind you, man.
no, it's cool. That's
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the organized warrior, and Rhys is more of the laid back, everything's going to be fine, quick thinker. He's really good at thinking on his feet. He's really good with his
I get us into a few different situations that often we don't even film. Like, we don't even film half the stuff that happens to us, because often
you film
it's all
Lancelot
a bit
Sandals.
crazy and we don't even think to pick up the camera.
You filmed Lancelot Sandals, brother, with a Ranger.
Yeah, that was a
doozy.
That was a doozy.
Yeah. No, that's
Copped a bit
classic.
of heat over that one, actually.
You what?
I copped a bit of heat over that one from the even from the YouTube community. I copped a bit of flack for that.
Fair dinkum.
Yeah,
Okay,
mate.
cool.
There's yeah.
Okay. So no, that's a really good description, you guys. And you know what? It's so nice to hear. So the previous guys that I interviewed were Dave and Vic from Rolling Ross, and they've been together 45 years. And if you take the time to actually watch it, they're as thick as thieves. Like they're best of friends, and they've worked together, and that takes a really special relationship. And ironically, it's funny, you know, because maybe that's also why we gravitate to you guys, and we've gravitated to Dave and Dick, because myself and B, we're exactly the same. We work together 5 days a week, and she sits here pretty much.
Yeah,
we go to work together. We come home together. We spend every waking moment together pretty much. And when we're away for half a day, it gives each other the shits. It's really hard to articulate, and it's hard to explain to people that don't have that relationship. But people that get that they're, you know, that they're involved in a relationship, whether you're married or engaged or just a partner, with people that you're best friends, it's a pretty cool environment, you know. And so I get it. So thanks so much for sharing that with us. Yeah, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I touched on it, Sarah. Who's the social media? You know, I actually know the answer to this, I think, already. Who's the social media guru? Who's the social media guru? Because
it depends which social media.
Okay, your website's pretty cool. Your blogs are amazing. Your content's okay. So
yeah,
let's
look, I write the blog.
Okay. So no, I didn't say. So Rhys, I did not see your name after one of the blogs. Just saying. So some of the, so clearly all the GoPro footage is either one or both, but Rhys has got the, you know, the GoPro and he's probably fishing or whatever. So you're the content collector. So when it comes to the social,
I pretty well look after YouTube, so I do our editing.
Okay, you're the editing.
All the YouTube stuff. And then Sarah pretty well does the Instagram and the blog stuff. So
okay, so your YouTube stuff is amazing. However,
thank you, man.
However, well, clearly that's good.
Oh, here we go.
So that's what I mean. So I'm not across this. I'm now following you guys on Instagram. So I'm 58, so I'm still learning this. I'm still learning this social media caper, right? So we stumbled across the YouTube. So your YouTube's great. YouTube is good, Rhys.
Yeah.
Tick.
Thank you, man.
But the other stuff is next level. So Sarah, you're next, and I haven't read all your blogs. I've just got a flavour of it. And it's just, and I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time I skim read a lot of stuff. Do you know what today's society does? What we do is we watch, we don't read. And that's another story for another day. But that's so I find, you know, YouTube and your reels and your short vids is where people are, well, I don't know, maybe my demographic. I don't really know, but I think
you're right. I think with the society that we're in at the moment is very much like fast content. They want to be able to consume it without having to do too much work. And sometimes reading is work. So I get that.
So they call it the butterfly effect. And that's really interesting. I'm doing some research in it with what I do for a job right now. And so it actually is a thing. So people watch rather than they read. So as time ran away, we have 2 episodes with this young family. The next episode, we learn who is the cook in the family and why Rhys is daunted about surfing, and a whole lot more. Until then, thanks for watching and bye for now. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. We're for now.